Hello, doctor. My name is Li Shijia. Today, my presentation is divided in four main sections. It showed a difference between the Malaysia and the other nations. The first is Malaysia Corporate Governance Code and China Corporate Governance Code. Corporate Governance Code is a standard measure for Chinese organizations. Enlisted Chinese organizations have established strong corporate governance practice. Principles of good practice are recommended as a mandate for all Malaysia organizations. Cost of corporate governance has gradually become a standard measure in terms of performance for all the respective Chinese organizations. Consequently, all these respective enlisted enterprises of China is playing a proactive part in establishing strong corporate governance practice. The same has been recommended for all these respective Malaysian organizations as well. This is likely to provide all the required competitivity advantage to these respective organizations. Facing and mitigating risk that can hinder the overall organizational progress in the upcoming future can become easier for implementing these respective codes. Corporate governance can play a key role in regards to regulating the overall environment of these respective business. Next is between the UK and Malaysia. The UK Corporate Governance Code is voluntary. It is extremely business-driven. Malaysia Corporate Governance Code is regulatory-driven. The UK Corporate Governance Codes are business-oriented in nature. This set of codes is business-driven and voluntary in nature as well. On the other hand, Malaysia corporate governance codes are regulatory-driven in nature. That way, Malaysia can ensure a high level of enforcement as well as compliance affecting in these respective organizations. Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance is a two-tier voting process. UK Corporate Governance Code is not mandatory. It is mandatory for public-driven organizations. Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance is mandatory for all the respective public-listed enterprises in this nation. This is done in order to cite out individual organizational documents such as unusual reports. These tend to be based on complicacy explanatory nature and are issued by the Securities Commission of Malaysia. Now is difference between the Malaysia Corporate Governance Code with U.S. Code of Corporate Governance Code. Malaysia Corporate Governance Code is well known for its broad diversity. It plays a key role in strengthening independence of the respective audit committees. The U.S. has not yet adopted a code of corporate governance. The Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance has already earned popularity for its broad diversity. It is capable of playing a significant role in terms of intensifying the independence of the respective audit committees. Furthermore, an effective risk management committee is also associated with the corporate governance of Malaysia. And the rules and the regulations are provided in the further laws in terms of the U.S. Participation at different general meetings are amended in terms of Malaysia. The U.S. has not yet adopted any respective code of corporate governance for the U.S. organization. Only country, it is mandatory for respective organization in Malaysia to participate in a number of January meetings for discussing all the required pieces of information. That's a high level of transparency in the remuneration of the respective organizational directors can be maintained. Now we can see the difference between Malaysia and Australia. Three key elements of the Australia corporate governance codes are hard law, soft law, and non-binding guidelines. This respective nation has no general set of codes for all its respective organizations. Monetary engagement amongst investors and organizations is significant for the MCCG. The Australia Code of Corporate Governance is associated with three key elements, namely hard law, soft law, and non-binding guidelines. This respective nation has no general set of codes for all its respective organizations. Additionally, it is not a mandate for all the respective organizations in Australia to follow this respective code of corporate governance. Only the enlisted organization is needed to abide by it. On the contrary, the Malaysia Corporate Governance Code is highly associated with monitoring the engagement of investors and organizations. And managing conflict of interest is a major objective in the MCCG. Discipline, fairness, and accountability are some basic components of the Australia Code of Corporate Governance. Only certain listed organizations abide by the Corporate Governance Code in Australia. It is presumed that manage different conflicts of interest can also be considered as one of the primary objectives of the Malaysia Code of Corporate Governance. Only one other third factor is as well as accountability can be considered to be some of the primary components of the Australia Code of Corporate Governance. That's all I have to say about assignment 1. Thank you.